Okay, so rewarded attention from a subscriber's point of view is I'm partaking in the advertising value chain. And I'm not just there as a number, but I'm there and I'm getting rewarded for partaking in that value chain, right?
From BuildX Studios, this is the Colors of Social Media podcast, the podcast for people who believe in digital marketing. Here's your host, Enoch Robot Boy Appiah Jr.
Today, we are diving into the next frontier of digital marketing. One where attention isn't just captured, it is actually rewarded. My guest is Yaw Antwi Owusu, a product ops leader working at the intersection of media, technology, and growth. He is currently leading the commercial rollout of Adtones in Ghana, an audio advertising platform built in partnership with MTN. In this episode, we will explore how telco-powered audio ads, value exchange marketing, and mobile-first engagement are rewriting the rules of relevance and trust in African marketing. If you are watching on YouTube, there's an opportunity for you to go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Now, if you are listening on Spotify, make sure you follow so you never miss an episode. All right, so welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on Colors of Social Media Podcast. Yeah. And you already know me. I'm a huge fan of Building Bytes.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot. You're also a huge fan of your podcast.
Yeah, it's actually a privilege for you to come on, right? Let's set the stage here. For those who don't know you, how did your journey in media, tech, and growth begin?
Okay, so that's like a long. I have to cast my mind way long. So I'll probably like the pivotal moment would be in Takrady, right? So when I finished SHS, I moved to Takrady, joined the media company as an intern. Right from like the following week of finishing SHS, joined the media as an intern, started learning, and right after that, I joined Focus One Media in Takrady before I went to university. So I was there. Online officer, handling almost everything, design and stuff like that. So that's like where my journey actually began before going to university, and then meeting a couple of people, meeting that engine, like test stuff, do things.
I think that is where we met.
Yes, that's where we
met online. Yeah.
So testing stuff, looking at things, trying things out, like without university community, was fantastic.
You came on this podcast in two angles, Building Bytes. That one we'll definitely talk about it. Sure. Building Bytes. Sure. Yeah, Building Bytes, and you are the commercial lead for the rollout of Adtones, right? I'll give me an elevator pitch. What is Adtones?
Okay, so Adtones is a new media advertising channel which we are leveraging mobile phones, right? And one interesting thing about it is we are bringing value to the entire value chain. So we are bringing value to subscribers and also bringing value to brands. What happens is for brands, you're able to reach your customers effectively, and you are very sure that your message is going to hit the right audience. That's one. For consumers, for the first time ever, you are earning from listening to ads or being part of that entire value chain. So this moment is like when YouTube launched the partner program that you are not just uploading content onto the channel, but now you can earn from it. So now by having your phone, by making calls, you can earn from it as well. And for brands, like this is the time to like reach people. You are ensured and guaranteed that your message is going to get out there. I mean, if I get to the numbers, like click-through rate and stuff like that are like beyond like what we know online and what like other channels will give you, right?
Yeah. Let's settle on the consumer angle of this. I'm an advertiser, so I'll have a lot of time to talk about the advertiser angle. But let's focus on the consumer. So is it that if I avail myself to be part of this program and I allow Adtones to run ad on my, let's say, device, I get some kickback?
How do you use the word kickback?
Okay.
So what happens is for every ad revenue that's spent on Adtones, 50% of that revenue comes to me as a listener. So how does that work? I opt into Adtones into the program. Once I opt into the program and I make phone calls, right? Once I make phone calls, during the window before the person at the other end picks up the phone, I hear an ad.
Yeah. And once like the color tones.
It's a reverse of that.
It's a reverse of that.
Okay. So once I hear the ad, I'm credited, right? And then I can use that money to spend on MTN. Right now we're launching with MTN, so we can use that money to spend on MTN, buy airtime, buy data, and any other thing that they will allow you to use the money to do. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the topic. Looking, I send the forms out. You all know that I pushed forms out for my guests to fill. Yeah. Now, looking at the forms that you filled, I see that your proposed topic is rewarded attention and audio engagement, which sounds so timely, considering how attention is difficult to.
It is for a marketer.
You know. So me as an advertiser, if I'm coming on your platform, I want to ask, can I measure attention and all that? So it's so timely. Yeah. Now, what I want to know is that what is rewarded attention in terms of marketing?
Okay, so rewarded attention from a subscriber's point of view is I'm partaking in the advertising value chain. And I'm not just there as a number, but I'm there and I'm getting rewarded for partaking in that value chain, right? So I'm on Adtones. I subscribe to Adtones to hear ads, right? Once I hear the ad, I should be compensated, or I should get something from being part of that value chain. And I think we walk around, we hear ads on radio, we see people like, number of billboards you see in a day. If you're able to, you can't count the number of billboards I see a day. What are you earning from that? Like, we are not part of that value chain. Like, yes, we are not part of that value chain. What Adtones presents, it, everybody is part of that value chain. Once you opt in, you get to earn from it as well.
So it's more like I'm getting value for using the platform, and these businesses are sort of using me to write, but then I'm getting value out of it.
Yes, you're getting value.
That's interesting. I want to know, why do you think, because before Adtones came on or come in, before you guys are coming in, we are familiar with our traditional ad formats, whether radio ads, whether social media ads, display ads. We are familiar with that. So what do you think marketers or brands are losing effectiveness when it comes into this angle? Why, in your own opinion?
So right now there's like ad fatigue everywhere, right? If you scroll on social media, I mean, chances are, like in your 3 or 5 screws, there's an ad popping up there. There's now even ad coming to WhatsApp. Think about that. So people are like not frustrated, but people are like running. They know ads and they see ads, and also click-through rate for ads on platform like Meta. I'm not attacking Meta, but platform like Meta, click-through rate is like less than 1%. So if you're reaching 50,000 people, less than 1% will act on it. But what's the opportunity that Adtones presents is, the moment that someone makes a call, that's the moment that they are very attentive. Their attention is up the roof. They are waiting for that other person at the other end to pick up the call. And that time, like, their attention is up the roof. And at that moment, when you hit them with an ad, when you deliver a very timely and personalized ad, chances are they are going to act on it. And it's not just chances. The data proves it.
There's data backing
it. So we've launched in Kenya. Kenya was our first market in Africa. We've launched in Kenya. Campaigns on the platform have like 50% click-through rate, which is like unheard of in advertising, digital advertising. Like, it's unheard of.
Yeah, it's serious.
On Meta, the best you can get is 1%. Yeah. And if you are engineering the system, you could get a little over 1%. Yeah. But on Adtones, I mean, you can guarantee you that between 15% plus, you can get that. And like, there are campaigns that have run and gotten that. There's an interesting campaign in Kenya. They were giving out fertilizers to farmers. They had to stop their campaign because they had hit their target and there isn't more fertilizer to give. That's like an interesting thing. Like, from a marketing point of view, like, it's unheard of, right? Yeah, and that's like the opportunity that we are presenting to like marketers and also like to the entire advertising value chain.
Yeah. Right? I may be biased because of the industry I find myself in, but I'm one of the few who love ads. Okay. Right? Okay. And I love ads based on its relevance, its timely. Yeah. You are saying this. Yeah. So I think Adtones will be the best for me. Do you think I'll be getting relevant ad, and how will they serve me with relevant ad?
So what happens is, I'll talk from the brand's point of view. Yeah. So when we're running campaigns, like, we are targeting specific people, and with our targeting, our advanced targeting that we have on Adtones, we give brands the opportunity to do that. So chances are, as a consumer, you are not going to hear an ad which is not suited to your personality. So there are chances that every ad that you hear is suited to your personality. And also, one thing is, it's not when you opt in, it's not guaranteed that every time you call, you are hearing ads. It's not guaranteed that every time you call you're hearing us. We randomize the time, the 7 of the ads.
The 7.
So that it's genuinely, it's not really like expected that, okay, I make 1,000 calls a day and I'm going to hear ads in every one of those 1,000 calls, right? Yeah.
How will it help a small business owner? Like I want to position it like an entrepreneur in let's say uni, because most entrepreneurship starts in uni. Yeah. So how will it help someone that small, not a huge budget like let's say big brand budget, but someone who is starting up?
Yeah. So if I'm on Legon campus and I run a hair business, I sell hair, and I have a new campaign out. Maybe I've gotten my new shipment in, and I want to get the message out there to like students on campus. Adtones is the perfect platform to use. So what happens is, one, I'll be targeting people on the campus of University of Ghana, and we allow you to do that with geo-targeting. You can do that. An interesting thing also is probably you set up a store where people can click and go and buy it. After they listen to the ad, there's a follow-up message that's you can put the city in there. They click on it and they buy the ad. An interesting thing also is you can target only women.
Interesting.
Maybe you can do men as well, because boyfriends will buy for their girlfriends.
Yeah.
But you can target only women. And you know that, okay, students on campus are probably maybe 18 to little less than 30 years old. You do that targeting, you reach them, and your message hits them, and chances are you are going to like get them to act on the ad, right?
Let's talk about the Kenyan case study. Yeah. You said 15% click-through rate, which is huge. Yeah. The highest I've gotten on Meta is I think 3%. What drove that?
The delivery is creative, right? And the brand record, even I know what the ad is, even without hearing it, like the delivery is creative, and how creative it is, and also the SMS that follows up. And most of the campaigns that they run, like, they are timely, right? Okay, so they run the campaign, buy something from Jumia, right? Once the SMS follows up, the deal is good, the message is well delivered, you act on it, and that's like one of the main things that is contributing to the success of like using the audio ads, not just in our tools, like using the audio ads effectively and things like that. Yeah.
About mobile, I'm trying to find something between mobile and the daily life of an African. These telcos, they are highly integrated in our lives,
yeah,
right?
True.
Right. How is that driving the success of this channel?
Yeah. So a few weeks ago, MTN launched a new platform called MTN Ads. So it's their entry.
Yeah, they launched it during the Gong Gong.
It's their entry into the ads market. It signals a lot of things, right? So a platform like Meta, a platform like YouTube operates here. They serve our market. Even MTN advertises on Meta, right? And sometimes the data that Meta really has on like individuals on Facebook, sometimes that data is not really true. Right? I can put on there that I live at Adenta. Like, yeah,
I'm a CEO. Someone is a CEO.
It isn't really true. But from data from telcos are like their true data. They are true data, and it presents like that opportunity for like brands like telcos like that to like make use of the infrastructure that they have, and then advertise, and then ensure that they are getting value, and they're also creating value for businesses, right? So that we are not spending a lot on ads, but we are doing it effectively, and we are reaching the people that we are supposed to reach, right?
Yeah. Is Adtones currently running in Ghana?
Yeah, so we are in the final stages of our integration with MTN, and we are currently pitching with talking to not other telcos, but talking to like agencies, talking to brands, talking to marketers like yourself, and getting the message out there. In the last few weeks, we knew a lot of meetings in Ghana. Most of the feedback, if not all, very positive. Like I had a meeting yesterday. The brand manager, head of marketing, wanted to run an ad instantly after our pitch. Very interesting. Things like that don't usually happen, right? Yeah. So like the reception has been great, and I'm getting a lot of positive feedback.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not that all rosy. Yeah. What are some of the objections that these brands and agencies that you've been talking to have against? In this case, I'm gonna raise the bar against mobile advertisement, and how are you able to overcome that?
So one key thing is around how compliant is the ad?
Yes.
How compliant? So
Yes.
I had a meeting with a huge shopping center this week, and from background, I mean, they've had like letters written to them because they were serving ads to people, which the people think they didn't opt in for it, but they opted in for it some way, somehow.
Yeah.
So for us, like, data protection and being compliant is very, very important, right? So one, everybody who listens to the ad or everybody comes to the platform willingly opt in and can willingly opt out too. So it's very, very important for us. And also, every data on the platform is anonymized. So you don't get to see Enoch, you don't get to see Yaw. You get to see a number that represents Enoch and Yaw. So it's anonymized, right? And like data protection and being compliant is very, very important for us. And it's been like one of the huge concerns for some of the brands, most of the brands that we're speaking to. And like that's how like we overcome that.
Yeah. How are media buyers, advertisers, taking up the idea of sharing 50% of ad revenues with?
Yeah, so
as airtime.
Yeah, as airtime. So I spoke to an agency. I was at an agency
because
earlier this week, and for them, they like the fact that the subscribers are part of the value chain. For them, they like that fact that, I mean, they are part of the value chain. They get to earn something as well from the value chain. And for us, we also like, we want the subscribers should be part of that value chain. Like as a YouTuber, if you're part of the partner program, it's exciting. You publish with confidence. You are going to earn from it. It can be your job. Like there are YouTubers who do that alone, right? We can also do that on Adtones as well.
You've been part of the product development, sales, and storytelling in the angle of Building Bytes, right? Now, how do these come together when launching something new in Ghana? How do you bring all of these skills together? If you want to learn something new,
that's a very good question. So I come from a very interesting background, right? Sometimes I don't believe some of the things I do myself. So I'm like multifaceted, right?
Yeah.
I come from a design background. I've worked in media before, worked with CTFM. Even there, I did a lot of things like writing stories, designing infographics, covering Black Star games, and all of that.
Yeah.
So one of the things that is like helping, not me per se, but then helping the org for instance, is one, because of where I've come from in my background, I have a lot of relationships that I can leverage on. And also when I enter rooms, I don't enter as entirely new person. Someone might know me from somewhere.
Yeah.
And that adds up to the credibility. Right. And also like there are people that I can fall on. So I had a meeting with one of respected marketers in Ghana. After that meeting, you can speak to this guy. You can speak to this guy. My bosses are also very fantastic. Like, okay, let's talk to this guy. Let's talk to this guy. So it makes the work a lot more easier. So I work into intros, I work into meetings from that background. So even if the head of market doesn't know me, he knows my boss. Even the head of marketer doesn't know me. Okay, recommended by a marketer that they respect. So it makes the work a lot more easier, right?
Any lessons that founders or let's say up and coming digital marketers can learn from you?
I don't like to give advice.
Why?
I don't like.
Why? Tell me.
I don't like to
so
give
that
advice.
I don't cross any border.
I don't like to give advice.
Why?
I feel like so. Every instance is different, right?
Yeah.
Advice might not work in every.
For me.
Might not work in every instance. I just like maybe I'll tell you how I deal about it and how I go about things, and if you want to draw
your own
conclusion from it, that's fantastic. But I don't give like direct. I try to stray away from that a little bit. The question again, I forgot it briefly. Lessons. Okay, lesson learned for marketing. So one is maybe like let's start picking up projects that might be a little bit above our weight. Like let's start doing that. It might be in many forms and many ways, right? So you love podcasting, you love digital marketing. You have a podcast about digital marketing. No one told you to do that.
But
no one really told you to do that, but you have it. Like let's start doing stuff like that. So I love data. I love research. What are you doing about it? Like does that just end there? Like do something like punch a little bit about your weight. It might not be starting a podcast. It might be starting an event on data and research and stuff like that. And one thing, like, put your skills to use. Like, don't wait for an employer to like get you a job. Like, put it to use. Okay, you know how to do photography. What have you done with that skill? Are you waiting for me to employ before I know that you know how to do photography? No. Like, you know how to do Google Ads. Like, what have you done with that skill? Are you waiting for me to like spend my dollars before you use it to test that thing? You have money, run some ads. Like, you have passion. Okay, you are a digital marketer. You love shoes. Sell shoes. That's your skill with the shoes, right?
Yeah.
So if I come to you and if you come to me and you say that you do retail marketing, okay, I've sold X number of shoes using my own skills. Like, let's start doing that. I feel like sometimes people wait for like, okay, I'll talk briefly about, like, people also wait like perfect moment.
Yeah.
Glorify.
But you never get it.
No, like, start something. Do it with what you have and like what you have and what's in hand also.
Interesting.
Right?
Let's talk about Building Bytes now. I know Building Bytes is all about documenting Ghanaian tech stories, right? How has it influenced your work, documenting Ghana's digital economy? How has it influenced your work and most importantly, your perspective in Ghana?
So my work for one would be, it has humbled me, right? It has
really, for what you said, is that the official name for Building Bytes?
No.
You said your work for...
No, so we Building Bytes is a product of Insights Lab.
Right.
Yeah, so that's like a registered company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, duly registered company in Ghana. But I'm saying my work at Building Bytes has really humbled me. Like, so most of the time we glorify people, right? Like, we glorify CEOs, we glorify chief, like, C-suite folks, but because of my work at Building Bytes, I have the opportunity to like interact with some of these people firsthand. And sometimes when you interact with them, like,
I love the episode with Alex Brown.
Yeah. When you interact with some of these people, that's how you step back and think like, okay, is this really? I only want to mention news, or sometimes I'm not seeing famous.
Yeah, let's say, is this really Enoch?
Really,
and he has
is this really
up?
him? Like, okay, is this like, are they that down to earth? Like, so sometimes, like, it has really humbled me. Like, so nowadays when people reach out to me, I try to be a lot more helpful. Like, if I can really help, I'll point you. If I can do that, I'll point you. In terms of like my out view with Building Bytes on the ecosystem. One, I feel there's a lot going on here. That's one thing. Like, see, you'll be tempted to think there isn't a lot happening in our ecosystem, but sorry, there's a lot happening here. There are some of the stories that we have not even told on Building Bytes yet, but there's a lot happening here. And with every episode that we jump on, every guest that we host, we are uncovering new things that's happening in the ecosystem. And one other thing is, sometimes we tend to think our market is not viable. Like, people raise money and they don't survive. They don't survive.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
But I've seen multiple.
Yeah, that's a lie. I wouldn't want to go into details. That's a lie. There are people here like bootstrapping companies. Capital is a bootstrapped company. They've not raised a dime.
Yeah.
It's a bootstrap. They are making a lot of money. Like, they employ over 600 Ghanaians. That's unheard of. Like,
that's a huge thing.
A business started by 3 people straight out of university.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. And that's like, maybe Capital is like up there, but there are other people. There are other guys.
That is Capital. That is what we know.
Yeah, that's
what about those we don't know.
Yeah, like those. Recently, we had an intro conversation with a business, a CEO who is starting a company he's not starting. He's operating in the logistic value chain, and like, I was surprised. Like, how come I don't know you? How come it's the first time I'm hearing your story? When we jumped up the call, that's the feeling I got. Like, how come it's the first time I'm hearing your story? The guys, they are doing massively well. They are delivering stuff using e-bikes. So emission and all of that is down.
It's down.
It's down. Like, how come this is the first time? And there are a lot of stories like that. We might not be able to, for now, we've not told all those stories. But there's a lot happening in our ecosystem. And one other thing is, once there's a lot happening, there's money being created. There's value created. If you are in school, get into tech.
That's it.
Like, get into tech. You can design, get into tech. You can market, get into tech. You can talk, get into tech.
That's it.
So, like, that value chain is being created, right? Yeah.
What excites you about the future of digital marketing?
So, future of digital marketing, we have to think about this a lot more. One thing is, I'll be biased. I work with Adtones.
Of course.
We partner with MTN, so I'll be a little bit biased. One thing that excites me when MTN launched their media ads platform is, one, we get, so every ad that we spend on Meta, we spend on YouTube, it ends up somewhere else.
Yeah.
It ends up somewhere else. It's directly profiting another ecosystem. So, and I mean, Meta runs programs here. They support our creator economy. YouTube does the same. But let's be frank, we are enabling another economy. What happens when we invest in our own, run ads on MTN ads? We are investing back into the ecosystem. MTN has a lot of programs that they do that benefit you and I. So we are doing that. We are running, reinvesting into our own ecosystem. That really excites me about MTN ads. Really excites me about the future of digital marketing in Ghana. And MTN ads is not only Adtones, which is on the platform. They have other amazing products that's launched on the platform as well. I mean, for competitors' sake, I will not be able to highlight. I don't want to give them free shout out, but I mean, they have a lot of other powerful.
You don't even need to say.
Powerful tools on the platform that you can try and then use them as complement to Adtones.
I want us to go into relevance now. How can marketers stay relevant in 2025?
Okay, how can marketers stay relevant in 2025? That's like a hard question. Being relevant is is a tough thing to do, because you don't know where some of the times you don't know where the industry is headed. But I also think now we have a lot of data on how things are going. I'll briefly tell a story about. We hosted the commercial manager. No, not commercial. I'm playing this show now. The CCO of Complete Farmer, Complete Farmer, and he told us an interesting story about how Vice at one exited the market. So at the time, they did a research on the Ghanaian television market, and they realized that attention is moved from television and it's now moved to digital. So once they realized that was like 5 years ahead of the time, they sold everything and exited the market. That's like they were ahead of their time using data. It wasn't vibes. It wasn't I feel. No, it was data.
Backed by numbers.
So now how do we stay relevant? For me, I love data a lot. Like, I don't know the number of research that I read in a week. I'm always looking out for what's the next thing. So there's a lot of data on our market. There's a department at the University of Ghana. They recently published a data on how Ghanaian businesses use digital finance and all of our digital tools and all of that. There's that data out there. Let's get ourselves involved, back ourselves with that data. Make insightful decisions from data, based on data, not feelings. Most of the time, I work as a designer, so I know how I don't feel this color. What do you mean? What do you mean? Are you the one? It's not for you. Let's go along with data. And one other thing is AI is here now. As marketers, let's adopt it, right? And let's not. So there's a difference between adopting it and offloading your work to it.
Okay.
So adopting it is I'm bringing it on to help me execute faster and better. Offloading it to AI is
do this for me.
I have to capture this and I leave everything entirely to AI. Whatever it gives me is what I'm publishing. No, let's adopt it. So I'll just use a case study of how we're using AI in our work at Building Bytes. So before we started using AI in our work, what happens is when we publish when we record an audio, record an episode, we sit back and then watch everything.
And you pick
and then we do all of that.
Oh Lord.
That's like 2 hours that we're wasting. Right, what do? We pass the video through AI.
May I pass it to notebook LLM?
Yes, and then it tells us, okay, people will resonate with this part of the audio. With this part of the video, lead with this. Okay, we tell you, no, we don't think that is our style. Give us something else. That's us working with AI. And it's a fantastic way to make our work a lot more easier and then do things a lot more faster. And the same thing also is now maybe we might not need 10 people working in the marketing department.
Mm-hmm.
We might not.
Yeah.
Like, we might need 3 people back with AI.
Interesting.
Is that when we are taking that 3 people, would that 3 people be you? Where the future is headed? Like, the work that 3 people will do, like, you don't need 3 people to do now. Especially in the creative space, especially in the data marketing, you don't need 3 people to do that work now. You need probably just one person who is like more like a journalist and can oversee a lot of other aspects and come from that wealth of knowledge and things like that.
Right. Where can our listeners get in touch with you? And most importantly, get to know more about your work and what Adtones, especially my listeners are all marketers. Yeah. So how can they work with Adtones? Where can they?
So you can reach me on LinkedIn. I'm there most of the time. These days I'm trying to quit, but I'm there most of the time. You can reach me there. But I'm on Twitter almost every day. I'm saying something and Twitter almost every day. Like I'm reach me on LinkedIn. If you want to like learn more about Adtones, I mean we have the time that we can talk to everybody, like present to people who are like curious to know about how it works and also how we can support.
My initial curiosity was there when I commented the first time you posted. It's like, wow, this is genius. So we will talk more about it. Yeah.
So we can reach out on LinkedIn. I mean, I reply every message. I'm not that big yet. I reply myself. I reply myself. It's not my assistant who will do that. I reply myself. So I mean, reach out and then let's discuss and see how best that we can support your work. Because I mean, we have to like reach the people. We have to sell stuff. Like we have to move the needle, right? Yeah.
So from my end, I think I'll add your links, LinkedIn, X especially, to the description notes. So you have to check it out. Whether you're watching on Spotify, you can watch on Spotify. Yeah, but in our market, if you're listening on Spotify or watching on YouTube, So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for having me. And I'm fantastic that we are being here. Sometimes it's very hard to like know the thoughts of people who are leading campaigns, relevant campaigns in the ecosystem. Right? Mm-hmm. And then, like this place is where you can take on the brand of like minds of like personally like Nase. You can know what.
This episode, just like any other episode of Callers of Social Media Podcast, is produced by Builders Studios and recorded at Tribal Mark Studios, 13 Asiko Street, Tantra Hills, Accra.
Daddy.